Joined now by Dr. Cecile Gericke, who's an educational psychologist, to talk about the effects of bullying. Dr. Gericke, thanks so much for your time and compliments of the season. Let's look at bullying and why this kind of activity occurs. It is a form of abuse, but what leads to bullying?
Well, can I answer it from a different angle? First of all, bullying is increasing worldwide. Research show it. It is a reflection of the collective psyche of the nation. And it is really can be the beginning of crime. It is sort of stimulating crime and that kind of thing. If you ask me what is bullying, bullying is a violation of a child's needs to safety and education.
And this obviously happens on the playground while kids are interacting with each other. Is there a trigger, for instance, or is it one abuser, taking advantage of his victim, or less a weaker victim?
Of a weaker victim, yes. If there is a trigger, I don't know, but there are many reasons. It is called popular jokes. People who are stronger, more popular, maybe clever, has a good standing, trying to show power. It's a power game to the weaker, those who have, versus those who have not. Bullying takes place in groups. There's normally more than one bullying. It takes place in the passages, changing classes, on the playground, to school, from school. It takes round everywhere, but it is a very negative power that is manifesting. If our people just read our constitution, there will be no bullying, because our constitutions say the right of everybody.
Yeah. All right, we take your calls at home on 011-759-6401 or 011-759-6402 if your child is perhaps a victim of bullying, or you don't understand the particular perpetrator's behavior. We have Dr. Gericke in studio. She is an educational psychologist. Dr. Gericke, if we look at the types of bullying, there could be something as benign as name-calling, for instance, but some could brush it off and say, well, it's the nature of children. Children sometimes are insensitive. They joke around. It's not intended to do harm.
Yes, unfortunately, that happens quite often. It's just about growing up, and authority principles turn a blind eye. But bullying is a very serious problem in the world today. And it takes place, as we said, everywhere, and the bully himself needs help, because the bully, the perpetrator, feel inferior, and he is therefore manifest negative power where he can. And he needs as much help as the victim who has been bullied.
Yeah. And you were saying that it is a reflection of society, and that the violent nature of society would be a catalyst for a potential bully. And other studies also indicate that if perhaps a boy spends less time with his father, for instance, that could also be a cause of having a violent streak. Do you agree with that?
I know what you say, and I know it is showing, but we have a society where parents have to work. We have to educate our children, and the schools and the parents has a role to play in having anti-bullying programs and anti-bullying days, where it is taught to them or showed to them that it is an unacceptable behavior and it will not be rewarded, and good behavior should be rewarded. To say that the child spends less time with a parent, maybe it is, but we can't just lay the blame on that and shrug our shoulders. We need to do something. Yeah. And in the home, it starts by each person showing respect to every other person. It is by example. Parents set by example. And sometimes parents can set an example by 2 minutes where other needs 20 minutes.
Sure. All right, let's take Theo in Davidson. Hello to you, Theo.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm fine. Actually, I'm in safety and security in my school where I work. I have just seen that bullying has been popular in most of the schools, maybe surrounded by issues. Learners, you'll find out that sometimes they are growing in an environment where, they want to belong in groups, you know, the environment that they are living in, their levels are not equal, you know.
All right, so
Sometimes.
yeah, so what do we do? I mean, especially in dealing with the problem, so that, you know, the school area is as safe as possible.
Yes, actually, as it is stated in our constitution that we need to move around as teachers to make sure that the school environment is safe. You know, you need to move around maybe during lunch, during all the time, you know, just to make sure that, especially the new learners that are coming to school, you know,
All right,
grade 8, grade 9, that are from feeder school, moving around, and orientation is very important as well.
All right, Theo, thanks so much for your call. Nice call indeed. And Zoe in Pretoria, hello to you.
Hi. I just want to make a comment and say that often we look at bullying from, you know, the perspective of what's wrong with the kids and what have you, but often is that the schools are pretty much accomplices to the bullying because they're often aware. They have initiation, you know, procedures at hostels and what have you. So the schools are almost like accomplices bullying, and maybe effort should be directed there. The Department of Education should be involved, and the parents, whatever conferences or meetings should be involved in trying to tackle that from that perspective rather than maybe focusing on the kids. Kids will bully.
Yeah, no, I get the point, but also some could say that it's a rite of passage. The initiation, you need to go through it, and you know, it's a cultural practice that you have in certain schools. I mean, I was certainly initiated in one way or another, be it to polish the principal's school or rather your prefect's school, shoes, etc. So how do you regulate and still maintain the culture?
Well, you need to ask yourself, if the culture has so many bad things associated to it, so many bad connotations, is the culture worth having? Because you can't regulate initiation will become bullying over time, and it has happened. And I've been through the high school system, and it does happen that initiation just becomes bullying over time.
All right. Point taken. Thanks so much. Your response, Dr. Gericke.
Yes, my response is we call it introduction or introductory to the schools, and it do bring group dynamics. But you make children, like what I heard yesterday about it, talk to the taps till the taps cry. Now, can you imagine how humorous that is? But it's not harmful, you know. The children might feel a bit uncomfortable, but there's a different line between orientation and bullying, where polishing the headmaster's shoe or doing that, it's one thing, but violating a child's personal rights, a child who's just being his unassuming self and who's nervous, is another thing.
Yeah, but what are the effects to those that are targeted?
The effects are devastating. People drop out of school. They can't learn, they become self-conscious, timid, and it's normally the more introverted child who cannot express himself. So the effects are devastating of not reaching their potential.
Yeah. Is there a link between suicide and the effects of bullying as well?
There's something big on the web at the moment about suicide and continuous bullying, where people give up, they feel nobody is listening to them. They are also not telling the right people. I mean, there are things like Childline if you have nobody else. There are counselors at school, but where they just feel it's nothing. Yes, there is a research show a link.
Dawson in Heidelberg, hello to you and thanks for your call. Hi, Dawson.
Yes, hello.
Hi, we're listening.
Hi. Okay, I would like to comment.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, my issue is I think children have too much right.
Okay, Dawson, I'm not sure what do you mean? Please turn down your TV set. It's giving us a delayed response, and we'll get back to you. Too much right, I suppose, maybe a corporal punishment, for instance.
Yeah, no, you can't. If you punish the child, the bully, for pushing people around, it is a vicious circle. It leads to defeat. You have to put him on an suggestively preventative thing, but otherwise an anti-bullying program where he knows. He becomes self-aware of his own needs and his emotions and what he's doing, and to teach the bully to channel his energies in other more sociable, accepted way. Punishing, corporal punishment for a bully is the worst possible
Okay,
thing.
what do parents do, especially if their children are either targeted or they're the perpetrators?
When the children are the victims, they teach the children by example of what is respect, and we teach them what we call, we say attitude. Just have that confidence, As we say, we walk down the street and who attacks who. When we walk with confidence, it's more unlikely that they will attack us, even if we're old people. It is almost the vibration that you can teach children to send out. The attitude is, I am myself, I am here. What you teach the perpetrator or the bully is to, it is not accepted by this school. It is, you will go and write down the school policy Friday afternoon. That kind of thing.
Yeah, maar moenie terugslaan nie.
Maar moenie terugslaan nie.
Thank you, Dr. Gericke. We're speaking to Dr. Cecile Gericke, an education psychologist from Johannesburg, talking about the effects of bullying and what you can do as a parent to protect your child. We'll take a quick ad break. We'll see you then.